Two men were rescued from rising water at the Denison Spillway boat ramp this morning. We spoke with two men who said they were camping in a tent when they woke up and realized they were washed away. Denison EMS was on scene to bring the pair to safety. They were both fine and drove away with no injuries. Let's get a look at our forecast for the morning with Christine in our weather center. Woke up to that rain this morning and it hasn't stopped. Ready for that sun to come back, Christine?
Yeah, a lot of folks woke up to the rain thunderstorms this morning, and unfortunately, it's just not going to go anywhere today. It's going to be continuing to move on through training thunderstorms today. That is going to give way to a lot of flooding hazards and even severe weather possibly going into this afternoon. We're tracking a warm front very closely. Right now, it's way far to the south in south central Texas, even south of DFW Metroplex, but we're going to be watching that as it moves to the north. Could bring a tornado threat with it this afternoon, but stay tuned. Right now, here's a look at that radar reflectivity severe thunderstorm warning just to the south of Grayson County there in Fannin County, but also we have some flash flood or flood advisories out there for Pauls Valley over down to Murray County, and there's a lot of lightning in these storms too. So here's a zoomed in look there. Durant getting in on some rain, everyone getting in on rain right now. 100% chance going into this afternoon, really for the rest of the day. It'll slowly move off to the south and east later on in the evening, but here's a look at the last 24 hours. We've seen almost half an inch for Pauls Valley, almost a little over half an inch for Bernieville, and then almost an inch here in Denison and Sherman. I'm expecting that we're going to get between 1 to 3 inches of rain really just in the next 36 hours today through tonight. This flood warning goes out till 1 o'clock in the morning for your Wednesday. 100% chance of those thunderstorms. That slowly tapers off as we go through this evening. We're going to be in the 60s today. I'll have more details on that severe weather threat here in a little bit. Olivia.
All right, thanks, Christine. Sticking with flooding, business owners on Lake Texoma forced to close as floodwaters continue to rise. K10's Sabine Welsh shows us what they're dealing with.
This is highly unusual. I mean, normally I can come up here and I can drive on all the road. Today, I mean, it is really covered.
This week, heavy rainfall is filling up more than just Lake Texoma. Water is now also making its way into businesses located right off the lake.
Well, I've seen it on the internet and I've seen some of the photographs. They're not going to get customers in there for as long as the water is anywhere close to this high, which obviously impacts their income and their revenue.
Rising floodwaters pummeling into businesses like the Island Bar and Grill, Lake Texoma, and Pottsboro, making it inaccessible for people to walk through. Monday morning, owners of the restaurant announcing they'd be temporarily closed. And just up the road in Sherman, the Hagerman National Wildlife Refuge also feeling the downpour.
So at this point, all of our major roads are underwater, including Wildlife Drive, Refuge Road, parts of Hagerman Road. We do have all the hiking trails closed, very little access at this point. The only thing that's really open right now is the visitor center.
According to Kathy Whaley, the refuge's manager, she hasn't seen water come up this high since 2015, when floodwaters made it up to the visitor center's office.
Last time, the water going over the spillway saved it from getting in this building. So we had about 10 feet to spare, and it got to within about 20 feet of our patio. So we're certainly hoping that this May is not nearly as rainy as May 2015.
Depending on how much rainfall comes into the lake over the next few days, it could take weeks for businesses to return to normal. So far, this is what it's projected to look like by Thursday, at about 18 feet above normal lake levels. In Grayson County, Texas, Sabine Welsh, K10 News.
A 24-year-old woman from Bonham, Texas was killed in a crash in Bryan County last night. It happened on Highway 70 and North 3980 Road. According to Oklahoma Highway Patrol, 2 vehicles were involved, but still not clear what happened. 2 adults and a 2-year-old child were taken to the hospital, but 24-year-old Olivia Rodriguez of Bonham was pronounced dead at the scene. Taxpayer dollars that fund a Texoma Amtrak route now at risk of being cut in Texas. K10's Kennedy Patterson explains.
People are stepping up to defend a historic Gainesville staple after questions of funding have put its future in doubt.
Hearing that it might not be continuing was heartbreaking.
The Heartland Flyer route, a path Amtrak trains travel daily from Oklahoma City to Fort Worth, in jeopardy of being completely abolished within the next month. The city of Gainesville being one of the train stops pushing to change the minds of Texas state officials.
We all know how congested I-35 is. And we can continue spending billions and billions of dollars to expand I-35, or we can create an alternative, a relief
Gainesville city staff stressing that the cease of train operations would lead to both economic and social downfalls.
People will come from Oklahoma City or from Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth, travel here and spend the weekend, and they're our market, and they're our customers, and they're our tourists.
Amtrak riders are also being vocal about the need of the train services, with some relying on it as a means to connect with loved ones.
I usually catch it here to Oklahoma City and then back, so sometimes twice a week.
Both of my children stay here in Texas, and I have to come across the Red River each time I visit them. And it's just so important because I have grandchildren I want to see.
Gainesville city staff are asking that the state consider a budget of $7 million every 2 years, allowing operations to not only continue, but expand to other states in the future as well. In Gainesville, Texas, Kennedy Patterson, K10 News.
Yesterday evening, members of Sherman City Council okayed a pavement management program. This means an outside company will conduct a laser analysis of road conditions. While staff wait for the program to start, road crews are already making good use of a new hot mix machine.
Instead of using chip seal, they're using asphalt, which has a longer lifespan. And so where the normal failure rate of a city street is about 12.5 years, what they're really hopeful to do is, with the mixture of using asphalt and concrete into the future, that our average lifespan will actually increase to more like 15 or 20 years.
Results from the program should be released by October. President Trump is hosting Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney today. The face-to-face comes as the relationship with one of the U.S.'s strongest allies has soared amid the ongoing trade war. NBC's Alice Barr goes over the latest.
A fair deal. We were losing hundreds of billions.
President Trump sitting down today with Canada's new prime minister amid hopes to dial down trade tensions between the neighboring allies.
I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal. Everybody does.
Prime Minister Mark Carney campaigned on standing up to President Trump over his new tariffs, including on Canadian steel and aluminum, and his frequent references to Canada becoming the 51st state.
President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never, ever happen.
Ahead of today's meeting, Carney posted this video of his D.C. arrival, promising to work with the U.S. to strengthen both countries. The Trump administration signaling trade deals with foreign leaders could start rolling out in the coming weeks, though China appears deadlocked with its 145% tariff on imports to the U.S. As President Trump again acknowledged some prices will go up for U.S. consumers in his quest to remake global trade.
You said dolls could cost a couple bucks more.
Maybe they might.
Senate Democrats pressing for legislation to exempt small businesses from tariffs.
Trump's tariff tax is jacking up prices, smashing supply chains, forcing small shops to raise costs, lay off people.
As Hollywood grapples with the president's not yet finalized proposal to slap tariffs on movies made outside the U.S., many fearing that would hurt an industry battered by COVID, strikes, and recent wildfires. Production has increasingly moved overseas, with foreign nations offering financial incentives. Tax incentives here, something advocates like California's governor argue would better restore U.S.-made movie magic. On immigration, the Trump administration is offering new incentives to migrants who are willing to self-deport, including travel assistance and a $1,000 stipend. The Department of Homeland Security says that's much cheaper than the $17,000 it costs to detain and deport. And President Trump says some people could then return to the U.S. legally. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up on K10 News Midday, Mother's Day is this weekend, and if you're still looking for a gift, well, we've got the spot for you. Stay with us.
The flooding threat is going to be high going into this afternoon. We do have a low severe weather threat, too. I'll talk about those details, but first, here's your outdoor forecast sponsored by Stonebrook Assisted Living.
If you haven't gotten around to shopping for mom, don't panic. Make Wild Markets has you covered. K10's Caroline Kellum is live in Denison. Hey there, Caroline.
Good morning, Olivia. That is right. If you're a last-minute shopper or you're a mom who's just looking to spoil yourself this Mother's Day weekend, perfect event for you. Here in Denison, I'm here at the Katy Depot with Kelsey with Make Wild Markets. Hi, Kelsey. Tell us all about what's happening this weekend.
Yeah, so we have our second annual Mother's Day market. We're going to have about 20 vendors. They're local small businesses and makers all over the North Texas area coming here indoors and outdoors, and they've got some amazing gifts for mom, from natural soaps to candles. We've got some sourdough and some yummy cinnamon rolls if you need a good idea for Mother's Day morning breakfast. But yeah, we're super excited. Lots of great shopping.
Oh, wonderful. And this is the last stop on a larger event that's happening in downtown Denison, so you'll have to grab a mimosa. Tell us about the whole event.
Yeah, so downtown Denison is having a Mom-mosa event. So you can shop all downtown, and then you can come down here, join some of our friends here at the Katy Depot. They're going to be participating while simultaneously we've got our market going. So grab your mimosas while you shop downtown stores. Stop in here at the Katy Depot and some of the stores here, and then come shop all of our local makers here in the Rotunda.
Wonderful. And what time is this all happening?
Yep, so it's going to be 11 to 5 here at the Katy Depot. We've got indoors, outdoors, and like I said, about 20 vendors that are going to be joining us. We're super excited.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to make sure and have all of the information about this up on our website, k10.com, and up on my Facebook page. Kelsey, thank you so much for joining us. Sounds like it's going to be a wonderful event.
Yeah, we are so excited. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, this is Caroline Kellum reporting live from Denison, Texas. Send it back to you, Olivia.